Hello, Wizzley. I've been asked to explain how it is that I use Twitter feed to drive traffic to both my articles and to the rest of Wizzley. I can't claim that this was my idea. It was something which Hugh McGeer taught me right back when I first started writing for Wizzley. In order to do it, what you need to first do is set up a Twitter feed. This is mine. It's not my main account. My main account has got my family, friends. It's got me whinging about the washing up and whatnot on it. This one is solely to push through all of the articles that I'm listing on Twitter feed. So, if you want to do this, the first thing you need to do is set up an account. And I do recommend it's one that's separate to your ordinary one. The reason being is this could be this could technically be seen as spam, and it's very easy to fall into that trap if you try to put through the same articles over and over again too soon. Hugh McGeer recommended to me that I don't put the same article through within a 2 week period. I go further than that. I do it. Each article goes through once a month, and that's it. If you try to do it too often, then Twitter will flag you up. You'll be called a spammer, and you would lose that account. And you really don't want that to happen on your main account. Your next thing along is to set up an account on Twitter feed. I'll put all of these links in the article, but this is my Twitter feed account. As you can see, I've got 95 feeds going through at this very moment in time. They're not all happening simultaneously because some of them have run out of articles to actually send through. I just keep rotating them. The ones that are going through at the bottom right now are right the way down at the bottom here. I could put more through, but I've removed, say for example, all the Christmas ones because they're now completely out of date. And I've added, for example, these St Patrick's Day ones and the Valentine's Day ones, which are just coming up at the time of recording. The point of doing all of this is so that you've got, here's one how it's all set up, and you want to put something on Twitter that has got hashtags related to your article. So anybody who is searching Twitter, for example, in this case for Elizabethan history or Wizzley articles, are going to come up with the articles that you're pushing through here. So you need those hashtags to match the articles that you're putting through. Let me just talk you through how this is set up. There will be a link to Hugh McGeer's article which does explain this more easily. The feed name, it doesn't matter what you put there, that you're the only person who's ever going to see that. That distinguishes this feed on Twitter feed. So in this case, it's History Elizabethan is what I've put here. So I can look through, there's my Elizabethan history ones. You need an RSS feed, which will go in there. Once you put it in, you then test it to make sure that it's active. Yes, that feed has passed okay. Update frequency. Experiment with this. I've basically started doing it every 24 hours and I've never messed with it since. Hugh McGeer is a bit more scientific than me, and he basically messes around to see the best ones to go through. Why I do it like this is because the optimum amount to put on Twitter feed is going to be 10 posts, and this means that every 24 hours Twitter is getting a single article from a single category, and that gives 10 days worth of opportunities for people to find us. I go for title only. You could add the description, but you've only really got 140 words on Twitter, so characters on Twitter, so it's not going to be worth it. Description only. I shorten it as a bit YL, LY link, just because it's shorter than the Wizzley ones. Over here, this to default, it will be publication date. Change it to GUID. That by default will be, the feed is sorted by default will be ticked, untick it. That means that it will search through the entire length of the articles in that category and find things to post from it, even if those articles are a year old. If you do publication date, it will do it from the top down. And then hashtags, as I've said. You'll then continue to the next page where it will allow you to send them all the way through to your Twitter account. I'll say you need the RSS in order to do that, in order to set up a Twitter feed. You can find these on any Wizzley page. Like, for example, Culture and Society. There is the RSS. Just copy that and in it goes. I found that if you can have as many articles as you want in a category, but it will only find the first 10 of it. That's why I say that 10 is the optimum amount for Twitter feed. You can see here, this is one that's coming from the Tudor one. I've only ever written one Tudor article, and so I could run a Twitter feed on that single article of my name, and it would run for one day, and that would be the end of that. To me, that seems like a bit of a waste. I might as well push it through to the rest of Wizzley. All of the articles that you can see there were written by Alexandra Ingram. She it would have found the original 10, including the one that I'd written, and off it had gone. But once those 10 have gone through, if any new ones come in while the Twitter feed is still live, as this one is, it will send that one through on a separate day. So you can tell by that since I set this Twitter feed up, Alexandra Ingram has written another 9 Tudor articles, and they're all being pushed through on here because basically I'm nice. But what I should imagine most of you want is how to get this Twitter feed to read your own articles, not just a category of Wizzley per se. And I certainly do that. If I've written 10 articles in a single category, then I'm going to run it solely on my name, because I'm not actually that nice as to not push traffic through to my articles at the expense of my articles, just to help out everybody else on Wizzley. So what I've done here is found the RSS for me on Wizzley, and there it is. That's the RSS. That's picking up all of my articles, nobody else's, and I can then feed that into there, and the Twitter feed's running. Now the problem here is Wizzley don't make this easy for us. They don't actually put up the RSS for an individual person in an individual category. I'm not quite sure why. They did in the past, but that was something that's got lost somewhere along the way. So all of these are going to start in the same way. It starts with the Wizzley URL, and then it's followed by /feeds / latest by user category with an underscore in between each word / and then the name of the person who wrote the articles. So in order to find all of your latest, in fact, I think if you take these off, oh no, it won't do it just as latest per se. You need to add a category onto it. And in this case, the one for family history for me was /0/289. Now, like I say, these can be a bit tricky to find out, so you need to go onto a bit of a quest. But there is a place to start off. So, okay, here's the category that it's actually looking for articles from. So you can see this is mine, and these are all the family history ones that I've written. And up here, the URL for it actually includes 289. So you know that somewhere in that URL you're going to have the 289. You have to just basically play around until you find it. So on this one, /0/289, which is the number that is matched there. You can change this to see what else is going on. Like, for example, let's see what's on /288, and you can see it's all the articles I wrote on marriage. Let's try something else random. So 0/2 57. I haven't written anything on reptiles and amphibians, so it's not been able to find anything. Let's go back. And this works as well if you change the name. So at the moment it's finding my family history articles, but I know for a fact that Ragtime Lil used to write in this thing, so let's see if it can find hers. There it is. That's all of Ragtime Lil's family history articles. And you complete messing around. Right, let's see if we can find anything that Myra has written. I'm just going to put some at random here to see. 264. She hasn't written a thing on prehistoric life. 01. What's in there? She's not written on social marking or small mammals, but you can see how changing the number changes the category, as well as changing the person's name changes theirs. Let's go back to the family history. If you see here, this is actually a feed running on the entire family history, but my articles are actually in genealogy and family trees. So let's see if we can find this one. I'm going to start with that 2780 because we know that that's in there somewhere. So let's see if it's 0 to 2780. No, it's not. You'll always get that yikes something at this page when it's not actually relating to anything at all. My first thing that I do then is try another 0 to see if that is going to do it. And yes, it does. Genealogy and family trees is /0/0/0/2780. And once again, I bet we can change that to Ragtime Lil because she was in the same category. And that's all of hers. Once you found these, because they're such a quest to go and find, once you found them, I tend to store them in a spreadsheet, which I've taken a Gyazo picture of because I can't work out how to get the spreadsheet onto the recording. And you can see that it's not always naught, like US history is /54/2//440. Computers is just /4. So, like I say, it's easy to find the feeds for an entire Wizzley category. To find your own, you're going to have to try and find out what's going on those numbers at the end. But I hope that has been informative for you, and thank you for watching.